Skydiving is an inherently dangerous sport. You and/or your instructor may be seriously injured or killed as a result of your participation. You will be able to reduce your risk of injury or death by taking your training seriously and listening closely to your instructor's directions. Your safety is our #1 priority. Let's begin now with the training for your jump. First, you will watch this video, then your instructor will answer any questions you may have. After that, we will coordinate with Manifest so we can sequence the jumps. We will let you know when it is your turn to jump. There are 6 parts to your skydive. First, you gear up, then you ride in the plane, then you exit the plane, go into freefall, deploy then steer your canopy to the ground for landing. We will let you know when it is time to gear up. Prior to gearing up, you need to remove jewelry, empty your pockets, and use the restroom. We will give you a jumpsuit to put on over your clothes. We will assist you in putting on your harness. Simply step in, pull the leg straps up, then put your arms through like a vest. We will do the rest. In addition to this harness, you will also have an altimeter on your wrist worn like a watch. This altimeter tells you how high you are above the ground. You will also be given goggles. The equipment you will be jumping with is state-of-the-art new technology equipped with a computer-based automatic opening device for the reserve parachute. Your instructor has a handle to open the main canopy, and so do you. You will walk out to the airplane with your instructor. Watch out for the propeller and approach only from behind and only with your instructor. Your instructor will tell you where to sit in the airplane. Watch your head on the wing and the door. You will wear your seatbelt for takeoff. Do not try to adjust your harness yourself. It may seem loose while you are sitting hunched over in the airplane, but leave it alone. Your instructor will check that you are tight and secure before exit. The plane ride takes about 20 minutes, so relax and enjoy the view. Our normal exit altitude is 10,000 feet. When you are almost at exit altitude, your instructor will direct you to get into position so he can attach the harness you are wearing to his parachute container. You will be attached at 4 places: at the top, right and left, and at the hip, right and left. Your instructor will also attach a ripcord to your right hip. You can feel with your right hand where the ripcord is, but don't pull it yet or your skydive will be over before it begins. Your instructor will also tighten the straps on the side to make the two of you as close as she can. You may have to sit hooked up ready for exit for a couple of minutes. When the plane flies over the airport at exit altitude, the door will be opened. When the door opens, it will become windier, louder, and cooler. Before exiting, your instructor will ask you if you are ready to skydive. You and your instructor will move together to move into position to get ready for exit. You set your feet outside the door and put them over the step. Don't rest them on the step, simply put them over the step. Then hold your harness as shown and put your head back. Your head should remain back for the entire freefall. Then your instructor says, "Ready, set, go," and you are in freefall. You will need to arch so that the two of you can become stable. That body position looks like this. Your head is back, your legs are about shoulder width apart. Your hands are even with your head, close to your ears, but also about shoulder width apart. Your hips are forward, pointing down towards the ground. Your exit may be smooth and stable immediately, or you may tumble for a few seconds. The key to getting a good exit is in the hips. You can accomplish this by squeezing your butt cheeks together. Exaggerate the arch with your hips forward, and you can help your instructor with a stable exit. You go into this body position as soon as you exit, and you stay in that position. Since you have never experienced freefall, you may have an instinct to move your body to get upright. But don't lose your arch in order to try to become stable. The arch is what creates the stability. The most important thing you can do today, if you remember anything, is to arch and hold that body position, meaning hold still. You have never experienced freefall before or a good arch. We don't expect it to be perfect. Your tandem instructor can compensate for errors in your arch. However, if you change your body position, your instructor has to also change in order to compensate. That could cause you to fight against each other. So, get a good arch in your hips and hold still. Set your feet out, keep your arms in, put your head back, then ready, set, go, Arch. Now squeeze your butt cheeks together, throw your arms out, and hold still. As soon as the tandem is stable, the instructor throws a drogue to slow the tandem so you can fall at the rate of a single skydiver. You will know that the instructor has thrown the drogue because she will give you a thumbs up. If you don't see this thumbs up, just continue with the skydive. Free fall lasts around 35 to 40 seconds, and during this time, continue to maintain the arch in your hips and maintain your leg position. You may gently move your arms and head. If you are getting video and still pictures, look for the photographer in free fall. Maintain your arch, but you will need to move your head to look left to read your altimeter. If you can remember, you will want to look at your altimeter about every 5 seconds. Your dive has 2 portions, free fall and canopy. Above 6,000 feet is free fall time. Below 5,000 feet is canopy time. We don't want canopy above 6,000, and we don't want free fall below 5,000 feet. At 6,000 feet, your altimeter looks like this. At 6,000 feet, your instructor will give you about 5 seconds to pull the ripcord if you choose to. Let your instructor know that you are intending to pull the ripcord by waving with both hands, then reach down with your right hand onto your hip and pull the ripcord. If you do not wave off and pull the ripcord, your instructor will deploy the parachute by 5,000 feet. When your canopy starts to open, you will transition to sitting upright. After the canopy is fully opened, your instructor will hand you a set of toggles that control the canopy steering left and right, plus braking, which is called flaring. This slows you down for landing. When you pull both toggles all the way down, it's called a flare. Although it is too loud for you to hear your instructor in free fall, under canopy, you can hear your instructor and he can hear you. It is important to listen closely and follow your instructor's directions. As you fly, he will teach you the basic concepts of controlling a canopy. You will help steer back to the landing area. As you get closer to the ground, it becomes even more important for you to listen closely and follow your instructor's directions. As you get closer to landing, your instructor will remind you to put your feet and knees up. Your feet need to be higher than your instructor's so he can land first and coordinate the landing. If you stick your feet down and reach for the ground, you create a greater risk of injuring yourself and/or your instructor. Right before landing, you will need to have your hands in the toggles all the way up. This means the canopy will be flying at full speed, and the ground may seem to come up quickly. Wait for your instructor to tell you to flare, which means pull the toggles all the way down to slow yourself for landing. Once your feet have touched the ground, let go of the toggles so the canopy can be collapsed. Depending on the winds, temperature, density, altitude, your weight, your contribution to the flare, the timing of the flare, and many other unpredictable factors, you may have anything from a stand-up, tiptoe landing, to a sitting or sliding landing, to what we call a crash and burn landing. In most cases, a coordinated sliding landing is preferred to reduce the possibility of injury. Unless your instructor tells you differently exactly upon landing, plan on sliding in.
Flare. Let go. Stand up.
Woohoo! On the ground too. Awesome.
Once you have landed, your instructor will unhook your harness from his container so you can separate and celebrate your jump.
You're free? Congratulations, you're a skydiver.
Incrível. Thank you, Skydive Kansas. Yeah.